Hey everybody, and welcome to another stream this Sunday. So today, probably not going to be a very long stream. I'm going to try and keep it around an hour or so, I think. We'll see how we can progress with the work. But yeah, welcome to streaming on Sunday. So yeah, let's since yesterday I've been continuing the work on kind of trimming down and removing some of the textures that I'm using in multiple places. And um, not that I'm currently looking at this number, but you might have noticed it. Um, it's still there. Um, it's interesting, like it really varies depending on probably the textures that it needs to load depending on where you look at, or because like looking this way, I still don't have um, a perfect idea of how this is calculated and why it just like jumps between like 600 to like 2000, 3000, um, and how it relates to streaming or um, but um, but yeah, and just as an organizational standpoint, I also want to go through all these textures and reduce like things like, for example, brick. I don't want to have like five different types of brick in the world. It's uh, s- you know hard to manage all those, and so just from a cleanup standpoint, it's something that I want to do. Um, and Also, another thing is that um, it's also from like an asset standpoint, like kind of um, you know, there might be multiple assets or like the same asset sharing different materials with different set of textures. So I use basically the same asset. Like I do have a lot of packages from the marketplace, and some of the assets, especially from the same creators, they're shared between the packages. So I might have like a table or something that is the exact same asset, but comes out of two different packages. So therefore, two different materials, two different sets of textures, even though they're the same texture. And that's something that I'd like to not have, right? So yeah, and that's why I've been going through this, and yeah, it's a tedious a body of work, so to speak, but it has to be done, and I wish I was a little bit better at doing that throughout building the project, but here we are. All right, so since yesterday, you might notice not a lot of changes, but I did start looking into adding a couple of more details on the wall, like some of these type of pieces where the pipes are kind of joining the wall. Usually they don't just like go straight into the wall. Um, so I wanted to add a little bit more detail like this around these pipes, and we'll do some of that today, along with some details along the floor, especially in this hallway here, since there's not a lot of like things hanging off the wall, or like you know like I have over here, for example. There's like some of the like these lockers, some of the cables around here, and yeah. So let's get to it. Um, I'll try and see how much we can get done, maybe even get into this section here, and hopefully bring it all the way to the stairs. All right, let's get after it. Let's start. Um, okay, so one thing that I keep using in my project is this tool called an eye scatter tool. So basically, I want to use this to place these. scatter items around the edges. So let's add a couple of these items, and we'll I'm just going to start here. So that'll be one, and maybe put a couple. And this one. And now I just want to make them kind of follow the spline. So this one's going to be a spline down. Now this one, I'm just going to remove this point on the spline. So there it is. This is our actor here. So I'm just going to try and bring it to the edge. It seems like this one, I think it's going to be good over there. And let's make it so, maybe a little bit less of a count of instances. And distribution type is random, but the spread is going to be 0 because I want them to follow this line. And let's just try and bring these points a little closer so we only have like a small kind of section, I would say. All right, so I think this is flipped. So let's place it like this, or is it just no, I guess it's the positioning of the debris. So let's rotate these. There we go. So now they're on, facing this way, like this. So, that makes placing these items quite a lot easier. It seems like one of them has some issues with its material. So let me see if I can sort that out. It actually shouldn't have. Not entirely sure why this one doesn't have the material applied to it. So this being the bigger one, and this being the other one. So why would that have this trouble? That's kind of interesting. I haven't seen this tool have issues with this material, like not applying the material. Oh, actually, or wait, I was thinking it just needed to compile, but no. So I'm just gonna remove that and just leave it with one. That's a lot of them. Let's do spread, fixed distance. Yeah, let's do 10. That should be plenty. Try adding another one. There we go. I think it was just where it was picking up the material from. It might have had the issue. Okay. And let's adjust some of the scaling. So 0.5 to 1. Okay, this is the only problem with it that they might get a little bit repetitive, as you can tell. So let me try and add a third in here. That's basically just different mesh, but with the same set of materials. Okay, so I think that could work. Let's just maybe make it fewer of them. There we go. And a little bit on that side. And one other thing that I wanted to add to some of these walls are some decals, like some vents, and similarly to how I've added this big mesh over here. Uh, this one's pretty, I would say, like a bigger open area. Down here, maybe I don't want something that big, but let's see what can we add. Um, and let me try and find these. Another really good uh, pack that I was able to find on the marketplace that has this parallax occlusion mapping is this thing called a solid decals pack. And if you're able to find it on sale, or if it ever comes out as a um, free um, free package, it's got in it things like this. So let me drag one in, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to close this. So this stats window, whenever you drag something in, it tries to update it, and takes a little bit of time. All right, so let me give you an example of some of the decals and why I like him so much, because you get some really cool effects with some of these. So you can kind of see, like this is just a decal, but it's got this really nice parallax occlusion mapping applied to it. And with parallax occlusion mapping, if it's on a flat surface, it actually usually works out really nice. So, like a decal like this, you know, that could be placed there. I mean, this is a little bit too much, I would say, on the part of this decal, but something else, maybe, let's see what other options we got. Like just this need, I think it might need to compile, something like this grate. I think this is a really cool one to maybe put on the floor somewhere. Let's see, we have this little puddle down here. So we can place that right there. Actually, that seems to work pretty nicely. Let's see, something that can go on the wall, like just like a vent type of thing. I think this is more of like a drain than a vent. So let's see. There's like I have a it's got a like a it's a really uh, uh, really well set up decals, and like I said, they're the parallax occlusion mapping on them just really I think sells them. So yeah, this is another maybe this is just Um, looks like an opening. Not sure if it fits so well, but let's see what else. I wish that's the only downside to it. They're all just named decal 17, decal 26, and you can't really. I mean, you can kind of tell some of them are like drains or manhole covers, like maybe these. But for vents, I'm thinking maybe this one will be a vent. Let's try it. I don't know. I mean, it's a little bit too submarine-y, if that's a term, submarine-y. But let's try this one. Okay, so this one definitely a vent, and I can probably place it right here, so there'd be like the kind of the leaking coming out of that vent. I think that could actually work pretty good. So let me do higher index just to be above that corner damage. So yeah, I think that actually can work pretty nicely. Let's see what else we got. Anything that's vent looking. Um, a lot of them, like I said, are they're pretty obvious that they're um, like drains, but for the vents like this one, and it's got some really nice materials as well. Let's see, there's like some kind of electrical or like a panel type electrical panel looking things, just to like a kind of an old type of a tunnel. So, I think those can go together there on that corner. Let's add a few down towards this end. Maybe this one is going to be something different. Let's see what can we find. Maybe also one of these panels. Though the only thing is I'm not entirely sure of, I mean, I think with this one you might expect it to be like if you get up close to it for it to be like a 3D object. Um, so let's see, let's just keep with the vent or like maybe like a plate, metal plate or cover. Um, maybe something that's like something behind it, like this one. I think this one could work. Like a little door covering a panel. Okay. So now let's just kind of try and break up the wall over here. And I think I have decal for that as well. Let's see how this one would do. Actually, I think that could work pretty well because it's kind of big, so it can fit into this opening here. Okay, yeah, I think that can work. And also, yeah, so much of this, I think it's nice that it's done with the decals. let's just place this over here. We were going to use this for the kind of the broken up concrete around the um, the pipes connecting into the walls. Just like that. And having that little water surface kind of helps with, um, so this is not very repetitive. And down here you can't really see, so that should be fine. Okay, so that's good. Let's move on to this section, and I'll just continue using the same this material, but I wanted to change the actual mesh so that I can try and paint a little bit of um, do some vertex painting, and also this being um, world position, I can scale this to any size. So I was thinking of adding a little bit of damage, kind of selecting these two and painting like right on where they meet, like around here. Oops, that's a little too much. Yeah, let me just go channel by channel. Okay, which one was the damage? Okay, 1 second. This is the subdivided one, so it should have enough polygons to do the vertex paint. But why doesn't it? Come on, I just wanna, there you go. Oh yeah, I think it's, I've made it kind of big, and it just, even though it's got like multiple, as you can tell from the wireframe, uh, there is a big number of vertices in it. The next one is just too far away for it to like make the change. So let me try and make this a little bit bigger. To kind of, because it tries to influence the vertex next to it. You can tell like from these points. I think I might just leave it like this. It is painted on one of them. I wish it was okay. Might just have to use some decals. Hey, Atlantica, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Um, how you doing? All right, well, actually, I didn't want that, but I wanted to remove the, kind of the drips and just leave them on the bottom of the wall. There we go. And what I'll try and do is make this one a little bit more narrower. Try and go like that. Oh, wow. Uh, well, yeah, I mean, that's dedication. I love it. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Not sure if you just joined, but I was playing around with adding some of the wall decals around here, just to kind of remove the repetitiveness. I think this cast in situ concrete is fine. You know, once you have some pipes going into it and like the light on top of it. But on this side, you know, I wanted to kind of break it up with some of these decals, you know, some of this debris on on the ground, and you know, also like another decal for like a drain, just to again remove the repetitiveness of the of this floor. And yeah, going forward is just getting into this area here. Yeah, so. I think you know the plan is to get this hopefully in this stream all the way done all the way to the staircase. So yeah, let's get we'll get after it. All right, and since I've been using this decal, let's just use the same one for the for this section here where the uh, two cubes join. Oh, um, like the back rooms. Is that the one with like the infinite type of like repetitive back rooms? Am I thinking of the right one? I was trying to figure out because I've seen like some back rooms, like back rooms projects on the marketplace. At least I feel that I've seen some of those. Yeah, so the plan is, and that's one of the reasons that I'm using this eye scatter tool, um, because you know they're all instance meshes, so I can either go with instancing or with you know merging them into one mesh. At the moment, I'm kind of leaning more towards instancing just because it's not so destructive, but I'm still gonna investigate that. And also with the H lots, hopefully that will take care of it. But yeah. Oh wow, that was a thing? I had no idea. I gotta check it out. I mean, I'm kind of you kind of made me curious now as to what's the backrooms video or like YouTube stuff. That's actually kind of interesting. Never thought that was that would be a thing. Yeah, I think the main thing about with instancing, and that's the why I would like to try it out is um, the um, you know it's less destructive, right? So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I think that might be a little bit better that way, where those join together. All right, let's do another one of these. Scientist backrooms. You know, I have to write that down. I just got to check it out after the stream and see what that's about. I mean, that sounds because, like I said, I've seen. Um, I'm not sure if it wasn't anybody playing, but I've seen some projects um, with using, you know, backrooms. So that's kind of like kind of interesting. Yeah, that's well, so there's definitely going to be like merging. I'm definitely going to be using merging as well. The only question is kind of the circumstances in which I I go with using merging versus um, like instancing. All right, so there we go. And also, the hope is that the H-Lords would magically take care of it. That's what I'm going to attempt. Oh, I see. I mean that sounds really cool. I'll have to check it out for sure. Huh. Yeah, see, this is what's so cool about gaming, like um, trying to make something out of, well, how are they gonna do something with just a somewhat repeating set of rooms? Um, so yeah, that's cool. Okay, so let's just, since we have this in place now, let's just use this. I don't need that anymore. Huh. You know, the one thing that comes to mind is I'm not sure if they've made one, but if you remember those, if anybody has watched it, I mean, it's not like, the Avengers kind of a popularity, but there was a series called The Cube, like a kind of a horror type of uh, type of movie series. And I've always found it interesting whether there's like a game out there that has the same kind of an idea, where you have to escape this maze of cubes, and each cube has like a trap in it or like a puzzle. I find that could be kind of a cool idea. Again, I don't really know if they've already made a game out of it or like a game series out of it. Oh yeah, yeah, I really enjoy those movies. But I'm not sure if I've ever looked it up to say um if oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I forgot about those. But like I said, I don't really know um well, I wouldn't say popular enough, but to make because they made a couple of Riddick, uh, a couple of games after the Riddick movies, and those, they were popular, but not crazy popular, and I love those movies, and the games were actually a lot of fun too. But I was just wondering if there might have been something with um, from the Cube franchise. Starting to put all these walls together, it starts to remind me of cubes and stuff. I don't know why. And now I'm lost. There we go. Yeah, but to me, kind of like the Cube movies, they felt at the time at least, that that's a kind of an original idea. Um, so yeah, I'm kind of I wish they would have made. I mean, not to say that I wish they would have made more. It's to some extent, I think they made what, like three. Um, yeah, that was my thinking. Like if you if you do the cube, like a cube movie, it's definitely got to have, you know uh maybe like in the movie, like deadly puzzles. So if you don't complete it, then that's it. you know um yeah, true. And but that's the other thing. I mean, it is um like those Final Destination movies. That's like another series that I really enjoyed. It was kind of interesting as well. So I was, you know, I'm not sure if that could be translated into a game as easy as, for example, uh, the cube. I think the cube, like, makes some interesting puzzles and all that, and it could be pretty, pretty easily translated um, into a kind of a game series. All right, so let me grab some of those decals that we have around the hallways. Yeah, so it already kind of complicates my work um, if I put angles in this that are not like 90-degree type of things. So I didn't want to add an additional complication with having you know having this be at a slope. Oh no. That would have been my thinking as well. All the movies that can you list two movies that have influenced the way you're driving? All right, there we go. I don't want to make it too extreme, and also I want to be able to, like I said, um, it's kind of hard to select the decal once it's kind of hidden underneath these objects. we go. Those are still, you can still select them. Oh, no way. That is, I mean, that's sad, but it's also kind of like, how does that happen, you know? But yeah, maybe I'm kind of, you know, sometimes with these ideas, you know, because um, I'm kind of curious to, I'd be curious to talk to, or I mean, there's probably interviews out there to the creators as to, hey, how did you get that idea? You know, kind of where did that come from? You know, um, like in the case of Final Destination, you know, or in the case of the cube. It's like I kind of get, you know, Final Destination in a way. You know, it's kind of faith and fate, not faith, but fate, Um and some other type of human, you know, human things. But with the cube, it's like, where'd you get that idea from? How did you come up with that? That's kind of interesting to me. All right, let's see. Can we get that to the corner? And that one is in the corner as well. Those sit pretty good there. I think these got a pretty decent placement. Oh man, that's you know, these like corner type of decals. I think they help so much with you know, removing that harsh transition, I think. And I think it's not so much about that, but it's just these like really straight lines that you know, um, it'd be kind of you know, not painful to look at, but it's just let me try and update this material that I have to have a different normal. Bear with me for 1 second, because I don't really want to have these, um, you know, kind of going across these. I mean, even though, you know, kind of poured concrete in a way. So let me try something. Just gonna lower this a little bit, not by much. Oh yeah, I mean, this is not going to help me because this is, um, yeah, this is world positioning. So I was thinking that I could rotate this around and let me try something. Well, that could work a little bit better. I wanted to make it so that it's kind of perpendicular to the hallway, you know, kind of just plates going across. So actually that kind of works. But I mean, right now it's perpendicular to this. Yeah. Oh, I see. I don't know why do feel like I've heard that the story about that. Where did I hear it? I heard it somewhere. Yeah, it's um I definitely feel like it was something that, I wasn't thinking necessarily of it, but well, I mean, I guess we were talking about um, you know, uh, Final Destination. So, uh, okay, so we have, I think that works a little bit better. Kind of these plates going across. It also breaks the surface a little bit, and then it kind of follows on going this way. And yeah, so I'll use that. Okay. All right, so let's cover this point of the floor here, just like that. There we go. Okay, that's more like hallway like. Now, like I said, I'm still looking to see whether I'm gonna keep this kind of concrete surface um, as but just kind of remove this leakage from the middle of it. But that's definitely a lot better. And I'm going to try also adding some of these decals on that set of the wall. Just like that. There we go. And what I like to do, especially on this side, is either adding some cables, like kind of going down this way or on this side. So similar to how I have it over here, kind of in the same idea. And also with some of the stuff hanging from the ceiling. It's a lot of it just, trying to break up these surfaces, so they're not um, they don't look so repetitive, right? So this is what I was thinking. I think it just by adding that, it already it already works better. Having this light there, I think works. Um, and let's actually move this over a little bit. So these these cables could connect probably into like an electric box that's going to be on this wall. And then I want to try and see what I can add to this. Trying to use some of these parallax occlusion decals to see if I can add something to this wall. Let's see, what could we use? So the tunnels, this is like kind of a utility maintenance tunnel that links into the dam. So you go through here, up the stairs, and this is where you get into the dam. Um, this is just one of the areas. I'm gonna remove some of this wall and kind of make it less bunker-like. Uh, but um, but yeah, from here you'd be able to um, go and access. This is kind of the inside of the dam where kind of just the big electrical area with like the turbines um, and so yeah, this is going to be a couple of the missions, but this is one of the ways inside the dam. So this maintenance tunnel is a little bit easier. Where was it? I got a little turned around. Um, so this is kind of the easiest to access, but it's going to be patrolled. So you're going to have to um, uh, to take out some of these enemies that are going to be in this area. The other one that I was showing yesterday is it would be with less enemies, but it's kind of a little bit longer trek. So this being the dam here, so the entrance to the tunnels is right at the bottom of it, and the entrance at the top is at the at the top of it. But you'd have to like kind of go all the way around, so it'd be kind of, if you follow this it's this little spline, so you'd be kind of coming from the road and walking all the way back to here. So this is going to be eventually, at the beginning it's going to be less enemies, if you go through here. I need to add some lighting. Then through here, down through here, down the ladder. And this is either the elevator is not going to be working, but again, down the stairs. And when you're down the stairs, this is going to link you like this way. And you can see like down here is where the big kind of machinery is at. So I usually try to go as often as I can into like collision mode and just um, try and see it that way, that there is no um, uh, nowhere that the player could go through. And also everything has at least a box collision on it. And some areas that are a little bit more complicated, like for example, these tubes I was showing you earlier. Let's take a look here. So let me save it because this one is a little bit taxing when showing collision. I think this might be a little bit complex here, but it would look like this. Let's see. So this is kind of how the collision in here would be. Yeah, as you can tell, these stairs, they need to have a bit of a better collision. But yeah, so you get like see right here, for example. Come on, see that's I was afraid at it. Uh, I was not thinking that that would happen, but unreal. Sorry about that. So yeah, in those areas, um, first, especially when it comes to that big kind of cylinder, that area is also modular. So each one of those pieces has that specific collision. So if you were to jump off of, or somehow be able to jump off of um, that staircase, you wouldn't be able to fall outside of the map, so to speak. My only concerns at this point is not with the say the man-made areas. It would be with the player climbing on some rocks and getting stuck, you know. So that's gonna be through like some play testing and so on. But um, but yeah, unfortunately, those I'm not sure if you can really avoid everything. So yeah, bear with me for 1 second while this fires back up. Not sure why sometimes it takes longer when I'm streaming to restart this or and um, yeah, that's true. And f for uh, for the rock climbing or climbing in general, um, it would it's actually pretty controlled. It's not, well, let's call it, it's not very dynamic. Like um, so for my project, okay, dude, I don't know, open something, stupid Windows. Um, So in my project, when it comes to climbing, let me see, do I have anything in this test level? Yeah, so it'd be kind of a path type of climbing. So it'd be like, you grab onto this point and this point and this point. So you can't really, if you were to jump, then you just fall down. So you wouldn't be able to like climb off the map when it comes to that. And also like the ladder is also just up and down. Hey, Penguin Z, welcome, welcome. How's it going? Um, Yeah, so let's get back into the main level. But yeah, the man-made assets I've been it's been pretty um I've been pretty careful with their collision, whenever I use it. Far Cry 5 rock climbing, I can't recall how that was. If it was just like a kind of a path type of climbing, or if it's like this, like what I'm showing here. you know. So with this system of climbing, you can put branches in it. So and then you can choose which way to go. Um, if I don't think I've tested it, but it seemed possible. Like you can, say for example, from this point here, you see this one here, you could either go this way or this way. Um, So yeah, and there's yesterday I mentioned in one of the missions you're gonna have to climb some towers to place some antennas for to triangulate the position of one of your friends, and um, you wouldn't be able to jump off of those unless you get to the top. So once you get to the top and you jump off of the antenna, you're gone anyways. But yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's that kind of the rope swing type of thing, right? Um, yeah. So, but I mean, um, yeah, mine is a little bit more, and again, it's not going to be used in many places. That kind of custom climbing, but But yeah, the ladders are going to be throughout the game. So that's the ladders are going to be quite used. But yeah, I remember it, and I think it might have been the same in or a similar mechanism was in Dying Light, if I'm not mistaken. Too much tower climbing. Well, one thing that I um, I kind of get it. It's easier to implement is the zip line. So in my project, the zip line is bi-directional, if you can call it that. I was showing you earlier, maybe, some streams ago, like to travel between the zones in town, you you would have to use the zip line, and that one is not just, start at the top and then slide down to the bottom and that's it. It's kind of like the zip line is between two buildings, and you can start from one building and go to the next building just by or you can go back and forth, right? You have navigation capabilities. Oh, and those are two games I haven't played. I actually played like the old, old um, uh, Tomb Raider, but I haven't played any of the new ones. Um, are they any good? I'm not sure. Have you played them? All right, let's add some decals to the ceilings and to the floors. Where is the other dirt decal? No, I haven't, because like I was always thinking, and that might be a mistake on my part, that it was only for um like PlayStation. Um like I'm still waiting to play The Last of Us. I'm not sure if The Last of Us Part 1 or is um oh really? Oh yeah, so I guess I guess I have to. Um But yeah, that's one thing that I was under the I was thinking that it's it was a PlayStation game. But if that's for PC, then awesome. I mean, I kind of enjoyed the movie. I'm not sure if anybody's seen Uncharted, the movie. I don't think it was definitely probably not as popular as the game, but it seemed interesting. I mean, it was fun. I thought it was a fun movie. Okay, there we go. Let's come back to this. I think we were trying to do something. Um, oh, so I might get more enjoyment out of the game than the movie. I suspect. I did enjoy the Tomb Raider movies. Huh, there's a window inside of a tunnel. That makes total sense, not? Let's see, what are these? That's also another great, and I think this one is the same. Come on, compile already. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Well, I guess now I'm gonna have to try it. All right, let's see this one. This one could work, though I don't see the purpose of it. Maybe this could work next to the light. Whoops. Like right here. There we go. Okay, so that could work to cover some of the stuff on that wall. Well, so let me look it up. Is Uncharted for PC? Oh shoot, they do have it. Well, I will definitely add this to my Naughty Dog wish list because I do have some of the other ones from them as well. Uh, I had no idea. That's so cool. You know, like forever, I was just thinking that this is a um, PlayStation exclusive, and I know they've moved games over to PC after what seems like forever. But yeah, like I have the, the Red Dead Redemption in there also as a wish listed game. So hoping that would um, just waiting for a sale or for time to play it. All right, so I think one thing that I'm gonna probably try and change with some of these is oh, there we go. I think this is what I was looking for. Something like this. Like I think this is a really, really nice decal. And they're kind of sunk into the wall, so that could potentially work. And along with this, let's try and put in some of these. Let's see, is my math serving me right? Should be right there. Well, that's kind of cool. Like these look 3D, but they're not. So I like this parallax occlusion thing, especially like I said, when it's on the walls. If it's like on a corner and you can definitely tell. Oh, Just Cause. You know what? So speaking of Just Cause, I used to like I played I think um a couple of them. I'm not sure after that why I'm not sure if I lost interest or what had happened, but um I know I played at least one or two of them. That one was also a really good one. But then it kind of, I'm not sure if, I fell off the map or it fell off the map, but I never played the other ones like the rest of the series. Okay, there we go. So we managed to break it up a little bit. See, should we put this down here? I think that could work. Let's try and, you know, play a little bit with the placement of these lights. I definitely like, I was surprised that after making all these weird corners, once I added the ladders in like a few weeks ago stream, it still ended up in as close as it did to that hallway. That was like, I did not expect this to happen type of moment. All right, so let's bring this over this way. All right, almost there. And there we have this one. Let's just remove some of this stuff down the middle. And I think it was on the green channel. Oh, that was not the, there we go. And there's like we're trying to just place it right on the corner here. That's pretty close. And let's see how this one is going to look over here. Okay, pretty good just to mask that that transition between these two surfaces. There. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I mean, it's closer. There we go. Not too bad. I was kind of thinking maybe if this could be, let's see if I can get it corner to corner. It's kind of right there in the middle. So can we get it? Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Alanika. Thank you so much for the kind words. I can't wait to play it either. Let me put it that way. But um, but yeah, hopefully for next week, I'm gonna have to to do some more of the grunt work. But I'm hoping that we'll be able to actually navigate this area with the with the player character, and also I need to set up the audio so when you know walk from the outside to the inside. Um, I might have shown like this little blueprint that I've created that would address that, but I'm actually gonna put it in in the play area here and not just in my test level. And hopefully I'll get to that. But and maybe we'll do a little bit of play testing with some enemies, you know, so you can do some like, you know, stealth takedowns and what have you for the guys that are gonna be patrolling around this area. And you know, I'm gonna put some more of those lockers and some kind of items that you can hide behind. And yeah, and also another one that's um, that I haven't shown yet, but I've worked on a while back, and I'm happy that I'm gonna get to use it. Is the ability to hide, and that would be, you know, like in here, yeah. So, you know, like be able to hide and maybe like the enemy will walk by you and you know, you'd be able to come out of the locker and you know, take them down and so forth. So so yeah, that you know, that hence the reason for these lockers being out here, if you get my point. So yeah, we'll play around with that a little bit and see where it goes. All right. Well, thank you so much, Atlantica. I'll be still kicking it around for a little bit longer just to finish placing these, and like I said, you know, finish everything all the way up to here and kind of make this work. Um, oh yeah, 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 definitely. I mean, it's not just the stealth takedowns, but there's gonna be like and I might have shown, did I? I think I might have shown in a previous video like the stealth takedown looks like. But but yeah, there'd be like you know, you know, throw like distractor items, you know, so that the enemy would go and investigate. I think I've shown that as well. But yeah, you'd be able to hide, and the enemy, you know, well, in the technical terms, would literally ignore you um, when you're in like a hiding spot and you know, come out of the hiding spot and you know do the business. But yeah, I think there was a little bit of an issue since I made some changes, so I need to fix that real quick. But yeah, it's like I said, I'm gonna be around for a little bit longer, just like I said, to finish this thing here, get these things to be in the right spot like this, almost, and then I'll probably end as well. But yeah, um, thank you so much for stopping by. Happy to have you. All right, let's see. How much do we need to turn this to get it? Oh, there you go. Oh, that was lucky. Almost in the right place. Let's just bring this over a little bit to there. Okay, there we go. Just some fine tuning. Yeah, so have a great rest of your Sunday and a great week, and I'll see you next week. There we go. Just covering the little bits and pieces there. I just don't like that. That's like that over there. Just try like, um, I know I'm just being a little picky, but just trying to get um, these kind of slabs of concrete to match with either corners or um, okay, there we go. So there's the hallway going to the stairs. And I just need to paint out the leaks around here. Also, let's do the same thing for these walls for now. There we go. And this light, do we want to bring it? All right, that could be a kind of a cool effect, just shining from that side hallway. Okay. Lighting wise, I think it's good. Let's see, where do we want to place these? I think I might just do them right here. There we go. And what if we extend the radius a little bit? That was a little bit too much. But that could work right there. All right. See this last piece over here for the ceiling, which we'll see how tricky this is gonna get once it kind of meets into this area here. Let's see. All right, just 1 second. Yeah, so this is, like I said, the little part where I'm gonna need to make this work somehow with that wall. And it is oriented the right way, which is good. The only thing is to end it right there. So that's good. I'm gonna lift it up a little bit just to kind of a little bit of headroom, I would say. There you go. So you're coming down the stairs here, and let's push it back so it's not protruding through the wall like that. There we go. And you're going down the hallway. Okay, that's good. Let's see if we want to make this one. How do we want to place this? I think I might just do it all the way up to here. Yeah, let's see. Can we make it so we don't use another one just by moving these things around like this? Almost. It's almost there. There we go. I think that's just gonna make it. Yeah, that should do it. And we'll play around. Oh, actually, that's almost in the right spot. That's good. All right, so there's our hallway, or at least a good chunk of it. And it joins into this one pretty good. Let's see if we can make this a little bit better. And some kind of a column is what I would need here. And a little set of stairs to go up here. I'm just debating whether having that light over there would be okay. So let's jump into game mode real quick and see how this looks. I'm gonna try and find a good set of steps for the transition between the floor and that slightly elevated um, not landing, but staircase. So you would go through here. And these seem to work out pretty nicely, these decals. Yeah, there's some stuttering here for whatever reason. And then once you get here, there's the light there. Just going up the stairs. I need to adjust the collision for these steps because they seem to get stuck a little bit in them. All right, so the flashlight works fine. Yeah, so it's just a matter of figuring out if I want to place another one of these lights down there or not. And these corner decals look pretty good. They remove some of that um, that kind of touch point between these two cubes. So that's good there. And yeah, you can see the difference when you have like those decals in the corners, like the ceiling and the bottom floor, and down here where you don't. Just I mean they join together, but like if you think of if your house and you have like the trim on the wall, um, yeah. And I think these they seem to belong. Like you got the flat, which decal for um, these kind of like electrical fuse boxes, and then down here as well, and then the 3D cable on the wall, just connecting them. I think that works. Not sure about this vent in this position here, so um, I'll play around with this. And then down here, let's see if somebody's so inclined as to, yeah, so this is Atlantica. If you're watching this, this is one of the places where, uh, you know, right now you're kind of stuck, unless you like at this edge here, and luckily you can get out. But um, yeah, so areas like this would be just a blocking volume placed around here. Okay. So yeah, guys, this is gonna be it for me for this week. Hopefully, those of you that took the time to watch it uh, found it interesting, and I hope to see you next week. Like I said, I'll work on finishing this. Just you've seen like some of it is a little bit of grunt work where you just have to like put some of these decals, on the corners, then do some dressing on the walls and so on. And yeah, so hopefully next week we'll do a little bit of some enemies around here. Like I said, add some of the. I need to revisit that locker hiding mechanism and make sure that it still works as it did a few months ago when I last tested it, and put that in and see if we can navigate this hallway and get past some of those enemies. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday and a great week coming up. And I will see you next weekend. All right. Take care.